Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Hello everybody, hello and welcome to John on the Bike. A short while back I tried a product from a company called Magicshine. It was a rear radar which watches the road behind you and warns you if any cars are coming. Brilliant bit of kit. Check that video out, I'll put a link up here somewhere. It actually gives the Garmin Varia, which is like the market leader for that kind of product, a really good run for its money, and it was cheaper than the Garmin Varia, so very impressed. But anyway, Magicshine have now sent me something else to try out, which is this. This is the Evo 1700. It is obviously a bike light, under handlebar bike light. You can see by the style of the design there, you should see the box, but it like hangs underneath the handlebars. Some of the specs of this actually very impressive. It is, got some details wrote down here. It has a max output of 1700 lumens. 1700 lumens, that is phenomenally bright. It has a 205 meter reach for the light, and it will run the 11 hours, but that's on low. Obviously that changes depending on what mode you have it on, because it has like a dip beam and a high beam, but even on the dip beam it has 3 settings, and then the high beam it has 3 settings, so it has low, medium, high on the dip beam, and low, medium and high on the high beam too. But speaking of the low and high beam, that's one of the clever things with this, is that you can actually change it from low to high. So you're not blinding people, so people come towards you. If you're on the road, for example, you can dip the light, like you'll do on a car, which is absolutely brilliant. I've never seen that before on a bike light, so it's very clever. And it's a remote control. It has a remote control, which you can put on the handlebars, wireless remote control. I think it's wireless, I'm sure this is, yeah, wireless remote control. So you can dip it as you're going along without taking your hands off the handlebars. I mean, how clever is that? I've never seen that before. Really clever. Very clever. It has a 4000 milliamp battery. It is IPX6 waterproof, and it has a aluminium one-piece housing, so very well made. USB charging, USB-C charging, as it's here, so quicker charging than the normal USB, and it takes 5 hours to charge. So yeah, very impressive. And I was mentioning the high and low beam before, but also the low beam, it actually has a cut off, so it's like a line which cuts off, so you know it doesn't dazzle people, you know, which is very amazing technology. So I'm not opening the box yet, still sealed the box, so that's the box there, so I'm gonna open that up, gonna have a look inside. Price wise, it's not cheap. I'm not going to pretend it's cheap, but it feels good quality, you know, feels like a bit of a weight behind it. So this is $89.99 US. So you know, it's not phenomenally expensive. There's a lot more expensive lights out there, but it's not cheap neither. It's not a budget light by any means. But there's a discount. It does have a discount on this. So $89.99 US. That makes it £72 and 8 pence for UK viewers. But it does have a 15% discount, which Magicshine have kindly give to this channel, which takes it down to $76.49 US. £61 and 27 pence. So yeah, so you can get this for either $76 or £61, wherever you are in the world. Just to be totally transparent, Magicshine have sent me this free of charge to test out, to try out, to show me viewers, but it's obviously completely unbiased review. It'd be pointless doing these videos if they weren't unbiased. So yeah, so if there's any problems, any faults with it, anything I don't like, I'll certainly tell you. So let's open it up and have a look and see what's in the box, shall we? So here's the box up close. Some of the details on the bottom here. USB-C charging, wireless remote, like I mentioned before, 11 hours runtime, and of course, like I said before, 11 hours runtime and 1700 lumen. You wouldn't get 11 hours runtime with 700 lumen. These are maximum settings. There's some more details down the side here. Low beam, high beam, easy mounting, water resistant. The distance, 205 meters distance through there. So there's some on the back actually there. I was saying about the run times, the graph, it's actually on the back of the box. So you can see there, low 200 lumens, 11 hours. high 800 lumens, 3 hours, and then you've got the different settings here. So high, if you had a beam at high beam at 1700 lumens, you get 2 hours. So you're not going to obviously go along on a high beam constantly all the time, but if you did, you only get a couple of hours out of it. So bear that in mind. These are the run times here. So that gives you an idea. So let's open this up and have a look inside. Let's pull this out, it'll be easy to have a look at that way. So we've got the remote control, there's the instructions, and there's the light itself. So that's the actual light itself. And this is one piece aluminium housing on this. It's quite weighty actually as well, which I don't say that's been a bad thing, but if you're bothered about the weight, it does have a little bit of weight behind it, but it feels well made, which is obviously very important on a bike. So we've got the remote control, which is wireless, which is handy. So obviously got a little internal battery in there. It's small, you can see by the size of my thumb. It's just a small little remote control, which is very, very handy. And then I've got all the bits and bobs on the bottom here. So you've got a quite nice out front mount there. Very smart. So you've got all your bits and bobs in there. A lanyard in there, it looks like. Another bits of mounts. Your charging cable. So they're giving you a mount here, so you can put something like a computer or something on top of there. That's going to go around your handlebars, obviously, and then this is going to go underneath. So this will have to be charged up. I'm assuming it's got no charge in this. That'll be the charging port on the side, no doubt. Yeah. So there's the charging port on the side. Charging port on that side, and then is that the on-off switch? Yeah. So you can see there it's got no charge. It's just flashing red. I'm assuming that means the battery's dead. If you saw that flashing red there. So I'll give this a charge up and we'll see what it's like. This also does come with an app as well, where you can control the light with an app, so we'll try that out as well. But for now, let's go in there, charge it up and try it out. But so far, it seems a nice, sturdy, well-built bike light. So I've charged the light. It didn't take very long at all to charge actually. I think I must have had a little bit of charge from the factory. It's only taken us a few hours to charge. So I think I showed you before, but the charger port is just there. Just put a little tab out. Charger port's in there. And then the power button, which also is the indicator for when you're charging. A little red light comes up in here. Is press that, hold it, and then the light comes on. And as you can see, it's pretty bright. That's just a remote control for it. That's pretty bright. So to operate the different levels of brightness, you just go through them cycle by pressing the buttons. So you've got low, medium, and high. And then you double click to go into the different modes, like the low beam and high beam, if you can see it there. I'll show it on the cushion there. If I pull the, move out the way, if I pull the light back a bit, you can see the high beam and the low beam. So you can see that, you see the cut off there. There's just a line here where it cuts off, obviously not the blind people. So that's high beam, that's low beam. High beam, low beam, and then you can go through the different brightness settings for each. The app, I can't get the app to work on my phone. It could be my phone's fault, I don't know. It might not be the fault of the actual light. It could be my phone's fault because my phone's pretty old. But it wouldn't, I could download the app and everything and install the app, but then it wouldn't find the light, the Bluetooth for the light. So I'm outside the bike. It's pretty dark, as you can see. Here's the torch so we can see it properly, but I'm just going to clip the light on. So as you can see, just clips on and off. So it worked really well. So let's give it a try and see what it's like. So I've turned it on there with the remote control. Press both buttons together and the lights come on. So I've just got the bike close to the shed door so you can see the different light settings. So a low, medium and high. Then double dip, double click for high beam and back to low beam. So low beam, high beam, and then you've got the different settings in high beam as well. So as you can see, it's pretty bright. So let's take it out down the track and see what it's like. So as you can see, that's pretty bright. That is very bright. So low, medium and high on high beam. One little quirk I have found, when you're on high beam high, like that for example, and I want to dip it, it goes into low power for some reason. Maybe that's something I'm missing in the instructions, but if you then go back up to high power again. But as I hope you can tell, on high beam it's very bright, very bright. It's got a nice wide beam as well. It's lighting up the track very nicely. Hopefully you can tell here, but that's really got a nice wide beam on it. Just going with a little bit of woodland here. And as you can see, quite impressive, quite impressive. So the remote control seems to work really well. I've got just on the handlebars there. One thing I don't like is that it's not lit up. It should have a little dull light on there somewhere, the buttons, so you know which button you're pressing. Because you've got the round button on the top for your different modes, for your different power levels I should say. The round buttons for different power levels, and then the square buttons for the different mode, for the flashing mode. If I move this torch out of the way, you can't see it. Now the buttons do light up when you press them, hope you can see that. But you have to press them for them to light up. So you do get a little bit of guidance there, but I think it'd be nice if they were lit up all the time. Obviously it would use more battery, but it'd be nice to be able to see that, I think, all the time. So these are the different modes by pressing the square remote, which you can get to by using the remote control on the handlebars. Different flashing modes. So as you saw, I tried the light out on the bike and I was impressed, very impressed. It's a very well made, very sturdy light. I'll just get it here. It's very well made, very sturdy, very well put together, quite a weight. So it's got quite a weight to it, but you know, that obviously means it's well built as well. One of the things I do like about it is I like how it clicks in and out of the bracket. So obviously that's the bracket, and also be aware when you put that bracket on, it's got the little adapter on the end there to hang the light on, and it has a little recess. I don't know if you can see if the camera focus, but on the side of here has a recess for the nut. Make sure that's the right way around, because when I first did it, I tried to put the nut on the wrong way and it wasn't tightening properly. The nut wouldn't go all the way through, so just be aware of that. That nut does have a recess, so then that goes through fine, no problem then. And I say the mounting system is really clever. So the light, hopefully you can see on the camera there, so just clicks in and locks in like that. So that hangs on the front of the bike like that. And then you think, want to take that off? You decide to take it off, press that button in there, and just take the front, press that in, and that just slides off. So obviously you can take your light with you. Because obviously it's a reasonably pricey bit of kit, so you know you don't want to leave it around to get stolen. So the remote control little unit is quite nifty. It's got a very simple mounting system, and basically it's just a Velcro strap, what you can see there. So that just goes round the handlebars and just locks into itself, and it's very, very sturdy. I had no problems with that. The switch itself, very responsive. It was a very responsive switch. It worked really well. No problems, you know, changing the functions over, and even switching it on and off by pressing the buttons in between seemed to work okay. Once you get the hang of it, you know, got to press your like your thumb right in between the two buttons if you like, and you can turn the light on and off, which is handy. So you're not having to mess around, reach around the front of the bike and try and turn the light on. But one thing, like I mentioned in the video, is these don't light up. So I found they're a bit hard to see in the dark. You know, you're pitch black and you look down, you can't see what button's what. So that's one thing I think it could have been improved. These should have a little bit of a glow on them, I think, in the dark. Even if it was just some kind of you know, like a luminous paint or something, just something to make them stand out a bit so you can actually see what buttons you're pressing. I mean, once you do press them, they do light up. You know, as you press them, they do light up. But before you press them, they're dark, you know, so you haven't a clue what buttons you're pressing. So that's one thing I think that could be improved. The light itself, I was very impressed with the brightness. Give a nice wide beam. And as I think I mentioned in the video when I was out on the bike, and there's this unusual quirk. I don't know if it's that on purpose, but if you're on high beam and you're on, say, high power, and you go into low beam, it drops the light down to low power. That could be on purpose, obviously, to stop dazzling people. But then when you go back into high beam, in my mind, it should go back up to high power that you're on, or whatever you're on originally, you know, high power, low power, medium. But it doesn't, it just stays on low power, so then you've got to go back up to high power again, you know, you've got to cycle back through again. It's not a huge problem, you know, you've got the button on the handlebars, just a couple of clicks, but, you know, I've always liked to point out any little issues that I found when I was using it. The light was bright, wide, very wide beam, very wide beam. I'm obviously not sure, obviously the lumens, it's supposed to be, was it 1700 lumen output? I'm not sure about that. So it was hard to tell really. I've got no measuring device to see what the actual output was, but it was bright, very bright. Lit the way up, no problems at all. And it's always very hard to show on a camera really, because obviously when you show on the camera, you can see a little light beam out in front. So it's, you know, it's awkward to kind of see what the, you know, quality of the illumination is like, if you like. So yeah, so as I said before, there's a discount on this. Last time it might have changed, obviously, but I haven't been back to the website for a little while. But there's a 15% discount. So with a 15% discount, this takes the price down to $76.49 US, or £61 and 27 pence. So yeah, I think it's a reasonable, decent light, and I was quite impressed with it. Like I say, the build quality, get words out, is very nice. I'll just show another shot over there close. Hopefully the camera will focus. But it's a quite weighty, well-made bit of kit. I think it'll withstand quite a few knocks and bumps, I think. I think it's quite a sturdy unit. So as always, thank you very much for joining us. Obviously the links will be in the description if you want to go and buy yourself one. And I'll see you all soon. Take care of yourselves. See you all later. Bye bye.